Welcome back. Welcome back. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Um, Happy to see all you guys in the building. I definitely appreciate it. So today I'm just doing another, kind of ask me anything, and this is live stream number 55. You know what I'm saying? And kind of what I wanted to do was you know, just kind of look at one of the Linux distributions I'm actually thinking about doing a review on, which is KaOS. So KaOS Linux is another distribution. I believe is dealing with it has the KDE desktop environment with all the latest, KDE goodies on it. It's supported by ZFS based on what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? And this is, I don't know, it's just something I wanted to look at, as well as I was gonna try to talk about Terraform, because basically I'm trying to learn how to use Terraform. I don't really know much about it, other than what I've read so far, and it's interesting, the application itself. It's basically a automation infrastructure or automation application. You can spin up virtual machines, with the drop of a hat, just by running commands. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was a super cool application. I just kind of wanted to, I don't know, show you the information I found about it, and just kind of talk about it, and see if I can learn something about it as well, by looking at it, and you guys can actually go look into it for yourself. You know what I'm saying, as well. But shout out to everybody in the building. Kiara, I see your question. I'm gonna answer that right now. Actually, you were saying, where do I get started? And I'm assuming you're talking about Linux, because I see you say, I know to take Red Hat Linux certifications, but are there any fundamentals I should know beforehand? And yes, there are plenty of free courses out there that um, cover the Linux fundamentals, which basically breaks down how the operating system, uh, how to actually use it, how it was created, who it was created by. You know what I'm saying? And just breaks it all down for you. There's plenty of them out there you can look into. You can also download the operating system yourself. Like what I'm gonna do on this live stream is I'm basically gonna install K Linux. Um, and you guys ain't really got to stick around. This ain't. I don't think it's gonna be that entertaining. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I just wanted to look at some of this stuff with you guys. I didn't have anybody to interview this weekend. Um, I kind of wanted to take a little break from the interviews. I got some big interviews coming up pretty soon, but you know what I'm saying. I don't want to, put that information out there yet. You guys will see it when I actually schedule the live streams. But shout out to Anthony Arrington. Good to see you. Coles Tech, what's up, bro? What's happening, man? Good to see you, bro. That's one of my Louisiana brethrens. I appreciate you coming through, bro. Professor Black Ops, he says, "What's up? What's up, chat? What's happening, man? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?" Lovely angel lady, my lovely wife. What's up, bro? I mean, what's up, girl? How you doing? Sir Obadiah, what's up, bro? How you doing? Salute to you, bro, as well. She, we here. What's up, bro? And nailed it. Good to see you as well. Uh, and if you can, guys, just go down and hit the like button. Like I don't really expect many people to come through, because I'm really not interviewing nobody, and I'm not talking much you know, I'm just kind of covering what some things that I'm interested in looking into, and learning myself. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, you can stick around if you want to, if you know what I'm saying. But that's essentially what I'm gonna do. And I see a couple more people, rolling in. Hit the like button if you can. Helmet Chili, Maddox, my man, what's happening, bro? How you doing? Good to see you. Damon, what's happening? Peace to you, bro. Peace to you. So let me go on and bring up my browser, because I kind of wanted to show you guys K Linux right fast by covering what they have on their website. So let's pull that up right fast. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Live stream. Oh, so now it's not gonna show. Hold on. Just give me 1 second, guys. Ah, there we go. All right, cool, cool. Boom. So you guys will see that's my Proxmox server. But I kind of wanted to just show you K Linux. And K Linux is a distribution of, Linux. It has the KDE desktop environment. It says an independent distribution focused on Qt and KDE. And I've been hearing a lot about this distribution, how good it is. And I kind of wanted to check it out for myself. This is my first time actually playing around with it. I already have the ISO downloaded, so I'm gonna, download it and just go through and play with it or whatever. Now, this the mirrors right here, but this is kind of what it looks like or whatever. It's a KDE desktop environment. So let's go on and kind of start that up, man. And like I said, you guys ain't gotta stick around for this. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? This is just it's just a way of actually looking at something different. And one cool thing about it, it's Arch based. So I know it's a lot of people out there that like Arch Linux. And based on what I'm seeing, it's Arch based. Cause right here you can see it says Pacman command. So that's how you can install it or install updates and all that stuff. So but it comes with Plasma by default. And here is a couple of the information, this is some of the information about the current version. This was released in January. It says it ships with Plasma 5 as a default desktop and includes 9 free NVIDIA drivers, KDE applications. It comes with the Linux kernel 5.14 or 14. And then it says Linux Next is the repos following the 5.15 series. And then GCC System D, which I saw in there. So if you don't like System D, then this may not be a operating system for you. But it also comes with LibreOffice 7, Ellipse, Firefox, 95, which is cool. Chrome, I guess that's stuff you can get. So it says for those wondering about GTA apps, they do have Chrome, Thunderbird, GIMP, and Ordor, in the latest version. So, and then they have, basically all the information in order to get it. You know what I'm saying? So let's go on and actually show you how to download it. But basically, just go to the ISO page and you can download, K Linux. Hold on, this is not how I downloaded it. Let me see. USA mirrors. Let's just click on the mirrors. Yeah, there we go. So it just automatically downloaded it. So let's hit cancel there because I'm not gonna download it right now, right at the moment, because I already have it. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense for me to download it again. Hold on, let me see what you guys saying in the chat. Yeah, just go down and hit that like button if you guys can. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. We here. I definitely appreciate it. So Proxmox. I kind of wanted to. I need to do a video covering Proxmox. I did an introduction video, just kind of showing people how to actually set it up. But Proxmox is very cool. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those hypervisors you can set up. It's open source. You know what I'm saying? You can manage all your virtual machines there. As you can see, I got a whole bunch of them because I do a whole bunch of reviews on different operating systems. I also play around with, I actually run my infrastructure here at the house using Proxmox as well. I know I have a lot of them shut down, but I do that before these videos just to shut down certain things so I can free up resources. Even though I got a lot of resources on here, I don't want it to kind of fail while I'm doing certain things in Proxmox. But let me see if if OBS is going to pick up how to actually create a virtual machine. Yeah, it pops up. Okay. All right. So let's go through and set this up. So I'm gonna name it KaOS, which is that operating system. So we can hit next there, but this is just basically general information. When you click the create virtual machine, this is general information that you put in. You know what I'm saying? So we can hit next there. Now right here is the OS, and basically this is how you add a ISO to the virtual CD drive, so to speak, CD DVD drive. So basically all you have to do is upload the ISO, which I did already, and I'll go on and pull it up, show you guys how I uploaded it to Proxmox. And I apologize, I just seen Tech Hut in here, man. Shout out to you, bro. I definitely appreciate you coming through. He says Proxmox is my favorite thing. Little AMD mini PC is my dedicated instance. Yeah, that's super cool, man. Also, Nick Taylor, good to see you, man. Good to see you. I definitely appreciate you coming through. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's get back to this. So let's hit next there. Once we select the ISO, you know what I'm saying, you just select your ISO. It says local storage. You can I believe you, if you had another storage area, or then you can select that, but I'm just using the default. I just have a terabyte drive on this server, just to store all my virtual machines, because I don't know how many I'm I may end up with a couple hundred. All these distributions I'll be looking at. But let's hit next there. Graphics card. So if you had a graphics card in here, you can select it. I just use default, but you can select, you know, based on what you need here. So I'm gonna just leave it on the default, which, you know, will work out for me. Now, hard drive space. By default, it go down and pulls up SCSI, but I don't like to do that for Linux distributions. I use VirtIO blocks, and storage local ZFS. That's fine, and it automatically creates or makes the disk size 32 gigs, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? I have plenty of space. You may want to adjust that if you know you don't have much space on your system that you're actually running this on. So let's hit next. Now, CPUs. When I'm working with servers, a lot of times I only give it one core, because a lot of times it's all you need. So like when I'm doing I don't know, a Orch install, which just basically requires the command line, or Ubuntu server install, then I'll put like one core on there. But if you got a desktop environment, just to make it run a little smoother for, you know, when I'm recording these installs, then I'll go down and give it two cores with one socket. You know, that's fine. That's plenty, you know, plenty of of processing power. These are Xeons, so they're pretty fast. And I really could get by with one, but I just always just throw two on there. And that's why I tend to shut down a lot of other other virtual machines that I have created, just to free up resources so I don't run into headaches. So I just normally give it like 8 gigs, so 8192, that'll work. Let's hit next. Now you can set up your networking. You can modify this if you want to, however you want to. And to be honest, this is kind of like the behind the scenes thing. When I do my distribution reviews, I don't show people this. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of skip it, because it kind of takes up a little bit of time, you know, when you're doing those distribution videos. It's hard enough to keep people's attention for, you know, a 10-minute video. So by trying to trim it down, or removing certain things, you know, that'll at least kind of hold people's attention that are trying to just watch your videos. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I do. I try to take as much as possible out of the video, so it kind of lowers the time that people are watching these videos. Now, networking, like I said, it has 2 networking cores. You can select whichever one. I kind of balance it out for the stuff that I keep running. But a lot of times when I'm just creating a virtual machine and I'm not sure if I want to keep it around or not, I just use the first one. Uh, and it's fine. It'll bridge, get its own IP address, you know what I'm saying, from my router, and we'll be good to go. So, and this is the confirm, and then you can hit start on creation. So, because sometimes it takes a little couple seconds or so to create the virtual machine, but good to go there. Now, so you'll see it pop up right there, and you'll see in the logs down here what it's actually doing. So right now it's creating that virtual machine. Oh, and it's done already. That's dope. Hold on 1 second. So let me switch over. Let me see my desktop. I want to show you guys my desktop. That's the easiest way. And let's move this over. And let's move this over so you guys can kind of see what I got going on, and let's transition that over so you guys can see the virtual machine and how it opens up in my full desktop. So transition, there we go. All right, cool. So that's the same site, but I'm gonna open up this virtual machine. Let's make it bigger so you guys can see a little more. So bam. And just to show you guys, before I show you guys, let me move this out the way. It's bringing up the actual operating system, as you can see right here. So it actually booting into the live ISO, but I wanted to show you guys some as well. Just show you guys some of the stats that you get to see in Proxmox. So this is kind of like your main statuses, the uptime, all the information about the, CPU usage, memory usage, as well as, the block size or the drive size, and then storage tracking and stuff here. CPU usage, network traffic, memory usage, as well as disk IO, which is important to see. You know what I'm saying? So let's hop back over to the virtual machine. And actually, this is super cool. That it brings this up. Now, this is my first time actually seeing this. I never played around with this operating system at all. So it says, thanks for trying out KaOS. In need of password file or package list. Want to learn more? Well, anyway, this is how you install. So I'm glad it brought that up. Oh, and that's cool right there to actually see. Most distributions, the passwords for the live ISO is like stored on their website, and you have to go find it on their website. Like the default passwords for the live ISO, so it's root live and then root live for the username and password. Oh, root and then live. Yeah, there we go. So correct passwords for the live session. Let's see, moving away from proprietary operating systems and open source, and that's and see, this kind of transitions you into getting into a Linux, systems administrator role. That's kind of why I show these distributions. Yeah, it's entertaining. Some people want to get information about distributions before they actually try it out. So I think that's why a lot of people come watch these videos. But just by playing around with these operating systems, it kind of helps you, especially if you want to get into the IT field, working with the Linux operating system. So this is kind of like a way of testing it out, playing around with different Linux operating systems, seeing how they work. And when you run into issues, it makes you fix those issues so you can become, better at working with the Linux operating system. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of this stuff applies across the board. Now we all know the industry standard is Red Hat. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of this stuff kind of goes across the board. Yeah, it works different. There are different package managers, different ways of actually doing things. You know what I'm saying? And it might be kind of hard for you guys to see this, but package list. So that's cool. So let's go down and install it right fast. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to make this video too long. And actually, let me check out what's going on in the chat. What's up, AM1? Salute, man. I appreciate it. And I see a couple people it looks like they asking questions. Wish they had a native dark mode. I use and install Discord like dark theme, but every upgrade I have to uninstall and reinstall to put it back. Yeah, that's some of the issues you'll run into, you know, depending on the distro. You know what I'm saying? So you talking about Proxmox. Hold on, let me see. I'm using install, and I'm reading your comment, Paul. So if you want to kind of clarify what you're actually talking about, that'll be great. And then Anthony, he says, can you run an Office application in Proxmox? Proxmox is, I mean, it's built for the virtual machines. You know what I'm saying? So, and then also you can do containers. So, but as far as like an Office application, you have to have a OS installed in order to use a Office suite, or you can connect to, you know, one of the cloud applications if you want to. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he said if I'm running a Mac but I want to run Docker and Microsoft Power BI, is that possible? Now with a Mac, Anthony, Microsoft products should be that's one of the things with Microsoft and Mac OS or Apple. They do sell their products. They sell the Microsoft products. It kind of sucks because you have to buy them from Apple. You know what I'm saying? But you can natively run applications or Microsoft applications on a Mac OS or Mac in general. So, you know, that's dope. Anthony says PostgreSQL as well. Now you should be able to run Postgres. You should be able to run Postgres because essentially a Mac OS is Linux, you know, or it's Unix. You can run a lot of the same applications on there. You should be able to run Postgres. I think I've seen a tutorial on actually getting Postgres installed. And then also you may have to add like I don't know how it works in the Mac. I don't know if you can add like custom repositories and all that stuff to install software. But just search PostgreSQL install on you know, Mac OS. And then also you brought up Docker. Docker is another way, you know what I'm saying, to containerize stuff. I think I've seen things on installing Docker on Mac OS as well. So that way you can use a container and work with Postgres. Because that's how I did a video a while back. Well, a website I was setting up, or not really a website, an application that I was setting up. It used Postgres, you know, as the database backend for the site. And so you can set that up in Docker, you know what I'm saying, or on the system itself, you know what I'm saying. So that's dope. Nick Taylor says I haven't run SCSI drives in years. Yeah, I know. SATA 2 killed that for me. When you can run 6 hard drives straight off the board with no network cord necessary. Yes, exactly. And one, yeah, salute to you. Oh, shout out to the super. I mean, thanks for the super chat. I definitely appreciate it. You know, and it's good to see you in the building. And Ort New Style, good to see you. All right, let me hop back over here right fast. Oh, so you were talking about Proxmox. Okay, see, I didn't even know they had a dark mode. I assumed you were talking about something else, whatever I was talking about at the time. This distribution. You know what I'm saying? Cause I didn't know they had a dark mode. I'm gonna have to install. I'm gonna have to look into that. I appreciate you throwing that out there. You know, so I'll know. And shout out. Thanks for another super chat. I definitely appreciate it. Don, salute to you, man. Salute to you. I definitely appreciate it. Nick Taylor, he says you need to put that cash app out front, big dog. Yeah. Well, like I always say in all these videos, man, I'm really not looking for the money like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if people want to support, it's all over my website. It's there. I'm not. I don't know. I just don't. It almost feel like I'm begging for money. So that's why I don't. Put that in the forefront too much. I know a lot of people do, but I don't know. I just feel some kind of way about it. That's just me. Um, but anyway, let's get this installed now right fast because I want to move forward and show you guys a Terraform or play around with that. So it automatically recognized my location. We're just gonna go through this thing real quick. So keyboard settings. Now, this is cool right here. I didn't know that they did this. So packages. I wish it had a little more. That looks like that's pretty much it. So basically, an office suite. So you could choose whichever one you want. So, well, it's only one. So LibreOffice and then no Office Suite. Okay, and then they do have a minimal install. It says it creates a minimal Plasma desktop install, remove all extra applications, and decide later on what you want. I'm gonna go with the default with LibreOffice on there. Now, this is very simple, just setting up the disk, set up swap file, XFS is good. You can select ext4, that's cool, but I use XFS, that's fine. And then if you need to manual partition, and it's the Calamars installer from what it looks like. Encrypt system, yeah. So, but well, I just wanted to show you that. But I saw that they have encryption there, so you can see that or mess around with it there or add that to your system, which I totally recommend, especially if you're using this on your main hard drive or your main system. I always recommend people encrypt their system so you can shut it down. If somebody steals your laptop, they can't get the information off of it because they need the encryption password in order to get to your data. So it'll pop up, as long as that encryption password is not the same as your login password. A lot of times I recommend that, you know what I'm saying? Encryption needs to be different from your login password. And that's kind of like, two sets of security, you know what I'm saying? So as long as they can't, decrypt the files, then you get to go. Because I mean, you could have personal files on there, personal pictures, tax information on your main system. So you want to encrypt your drive. I always recommend that to people. So bootloader. Okay, so it has Grub 2. And what Grub is a Grand Unified Bootloader. As you guys know, if you've used Linux before, you know what that is. So next, let's go on and fill in our information. So Josh, and then let's name this computer KaOS OS, and then let's create a password. So KIT. So you guys can see my password. Yeah, it's too short. I don't care. Reuse that password. Log in automatically without asking for password. You never want to. Well, that's just me. I don't recommend you do that because once someone gets past your encrypted drive, let's say they figure out what your password is for that, then it'll automatically log into the system. So that's why I say have two different passwords, for your login and encryption. So let's hit next. Summary. Okay. So this is basically our summary of what it's all gonna do. So you read through this if you want to. But just hit install. And from what I heard, this install should be pretty fast. Well, a lot of times when I run things on Proxmox, it's pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you right, Nick Taylor. You ain't begging because you don't ask for it. You right. You right. um, let's see. It's a third party add-on. Oh, okay, Paul. I'm gonna check it out. I definitely want to check that out because I like dark theme for everything. You know what I'm saying? It's just easier on the eyes, especially when you look at the computer all day. Like I'm going from my work computer, back to my desktop. because I have to log into certain things for my actual company that I work for, as well as, you know, other laptops for other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, um, let's see. For Linux, I would suggest getting a Cloud Guru subscription. Also, I found a few books that are really good. The Linux command line and the How Linux Works. Also, you will want a home lab environment as well. Yes, and I 100% agree with you on that, bro. And I'm glad you brought up books while we waiting on this install to finish. Let me go down and make my screen a little bigger so you guys can see what I'm gonna show you guys. But if we go back to let's transition back over while that thing is installing. Uh, I was kind of saving it for the end because I wanted to talk a little bit about certifications. I found this cool article on it. But Linux Plus is probably one of those first certifications I think you should get. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to learning Linux. And I'm not I'm not sponsored by them. You know, they don't, you know, pay my bills in any way, so I'll have some sort of bias. But CompTIA Linux Plus is a great foundational certification. I've seen some courses out there, and that's what I was saying earlier. I've seen some courses out there that, you know, that'll teach you the fundamentals of Linux. But once you get those fundamentals, you know, the way you actually learn it and become more proficient with it is by using it. So that home lab statement that you made is 100% true. You need to set up your home lab however you set it up. You can get you an old computer off Craigslist ain't popping no more like it used to, where you can find good things on it. Facebook Marketplace, so whatever you guys use nowadays to get used equipment. You know what I'm saying? You can go get you $100 or $50 desktop computer. Because a lot of people going to laptops nowadays, they selling these desktops for cheap unless it's like a gaming rig. Now, if you spend, that's up to you. You know what I'm saying? But you can find you an old Dell Aspirian or whatever it's called, and install Proxmox on it and run virtual machines. As long as the processor supports virtualization, you're good to go. You know what I'm saying? You may not have the most resources, but you can install Proxmox on it, run a couple virtual machines on there, or you can just install Linux directly onto it, which Proxmox is Linux. It's a Debian-based distribution underneath it that's actually running Proxmox. It's essentially Linux as well. But yeah, you can install Ubuntu or, you know, Debian or CentOS or Rocky Linux, you know, one of those distributions of Linux. Put it on there and actually practice with it and learn. Install applications. Do like what we're doing now. Like I said, with Proxmox, installing different operating systems and running through the install. Playing with the package manager. Add some test files on there and practice moving them around. Practice extracting data from text files and putting it into other text files. You know what I'm saying? Like catting out information from one to another, or using the sed command to write to text files. You know, ls block to list out the blocks on the, you know, just try all the stuff you learn in those fundamentals courses. Or if you go into the Linux Plus course, um you know, practice all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That'll get you more proficient. But I do want to shout out a book. This is the Linux Plus book, and this was written by somebody I interviewed a while back, Ted Jordan. I interviewed him on my channel. It's been about a year, but he actually wrote this book. This is the all-in-one CompTIA Linux Plus certification guide. I'm currently using this right now because I'm finna take my Linux Plus certification at the end of the month, and I kind of didn't want to tell people, you know what I'm saying, because last time I took a certification, I bombed it. And now I got the time to actually take another one and study a little more. And it wasn't this certification, I failed. It was a kind of a more higher or tougher certification that I failed, which was created by Linux Foundation. It was at systems administrator. I didn't have enough knowledge to actually pass it. I mean, I did, but um, it's performance based. So they ask you to perform tasks on the server, and I couldn't think of the commands off the top of my head. I just need to practice a whole lot more before I go in and take that test again. I'm gonna try to take it again this year. That's one of the things on my list of goals. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, recommend this book, especially if you're learning Linux. Also, get the Linux Pocket Guide. This is super dope. It's made by O'Reilly. You can get it on Amazon. I think it's like $8. This is the third edition. I think they on the fourth edition now, or it might be the fifth. I can't remember. I have like 3 or 4 of these around the house, but this has helped me. Let's say you're trying to figure out how to do something in the command line. You know what I'm saying? Because it's impossible to learn or remember all these commands. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. You know what I'm saying? You can get most of it, into memory, but not all of it. And so this has helped me, out of jams at like jobs that I work at where they had a Linux system, and I need to figure out how to do something like modify a configuration file a certain way or whatever. It's gotten me out of jams for that. Not sponsored by any of these people that created these books. I just want to put the information out there for people that want to learn. So I definitely appreciate you asking that question or putting that statement out there. Now let's switch back over because our distribution is done. So let's go on and restart system, and let me look back at the chat right fast. What certifications are better in the industry? CompTIA Linux or search from the Linux Institute? I'm assuming you're talking about Linux Foundation. Linux Foundation is probably gonna be the most recognized Linux, like generalized Linux certification out there. I think. Now Red Hat is specific. You know what I'm saying? So Red Hat certified, that's specific. It's like you're trying to think of the right word. You specializing, you know. But overall, good Linux certification is gonna be that Linux Foundation cert because, like I said, it's performance based. But Linux Plus is a good cert to actually have. Anything with CompTIA, it's industry standard certification. A lot of people have CompTIA certifications. A lot of people, when you interview, look for you to have CompTIA certifications. I mean, you can look on Indeed or all these different sites, LinkedIn, and they do want to see people with CompTIA certifications up to a certain job or whatever, a certain type of job that it is. So the big bucks, they're gonna want to see higher certifications like that Linux or that Red Hat certification. That's where the money's gonna come in. You know what I'm saying? The getting your foot in the door is CompTIA. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times. But as I've always said on this channel, you never want to stop learning. Just because you get that CompTIA certification or you get that Linux Foundation certification, you don't stop there. You know what I'm saying? Go down and start looking at the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you want to specialize in, you don't stop. You don't want to stop at those CompTIA certifications. You want to constantly learn. That way you can grow and get better. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. It was something else. Thanks. Can a regular clean record civilian get secret clearance without military? Yes, you can. I actually talked to someone that went through the process, but the problem with that, the reason they favor military over regular civilians is because the DoD automatically paid for the clearance. And clearances last for a certain amount of time. I believe secret is like 10 years, top secret is like 5, where they have to recertify it. So you can get in the military, you know what I'm saying, join the military, do your 6 years, 4 years or whatever, and go into the IR if you want to. you have a clearance for 8 years. So you can go work for the government. So you already set up for it, for those government jobs, because you already had that clearance, and the company doesn't have to foot the bill. That's where the problem lies. The company doesn't want to foot the bill for it, but in certain cases they do. As a clearance costs a couple $1,000s to actually get. So that's the issue you run into. But I have seen people get a clearance that were civilians because of the skill sets they had. The company, footed the bill for that because they invested in themselves by having the proper skills that the company was actually looking for the position, and they couldn't say no, especially if they can't find anyone else with those skills. That's why it's important to skill up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep going and going because y'all asking some excellent questions. I definitely appreciate it, man. Will you do any videos on FreeBSD? Yes, I'll do some videos on FreeBSD. I'm looking at working on doing some of that stuff. Let's see, how do you get a secret clearance? I don't want to hop into that because I had certain things I wanted to kind of cover. Let's see, what's up, my fellow DBA? What's up, Sco? I definitely appreciate you coming through. Would you consider MFA when it comes to Linux? What's MFA? I'm trying to remember what MFA is. 1 second. Let me look that up right fast. Multi-factor authentication. When it comes to Linux, yeah. Well, I don't. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that. You don't have to do multi-factor authentication unless I would say if you're doing something in the cloud and it's important, then I would do some multi-factor authentication. When it comes to that. And I don't know why I thought you was talking about a cert. That's why it took me a minute to figure out what you were saying. Let's see. I've asked why do guys focus so much on Proxmox when it comes to production use. Companies will use VMware, Hyper-V. Also, you will see pure KVM. Yes, and that's true. That's 100% true. You can install, you can install VMware, what is it, Workstation, whatever it is, or you can play around with Hyper-V, I believe, as well. And I was just, Proxmox is not heavy on resources. I don't know how heavy VMware is, but I always recommend Proxmox just for people, setting up a home lab at the house. If they ain't got much money, you can set up Proxmox on an old computer. You know what I'm saying? And be good to go, when it comes to that. So that's why I recommend it. And KeepItTechie in the building. What's up, bro? I'm always shouting you out, bro. Keep doing what you're doing over there, bro. You be helping so many people, bro. You be helping so many people. Yeah, he says, yep, always level up. Yeah, definitely. So let me log into this operating system. And actually, I'm gonna just do a video on this thing. And actually I typed in the wrong password. KIT. Boom. There we go. So KDE Plasma. And I'm gonna go down and fix the, I don't know, make it a little wider or whatever once we get into it. But good day. What's up, Peter Hunt? How you doing, man? And yeah, whoever asked the question about the clearances, check out my man Professor Black Ops. He's been working in the field as well, working on government contracts, all that government work, just like I have. So he has information on it as well. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys wanna holler at him, he can point you in the right direction as well. Let's see. I had a Nax and secret. Yeah, I was civilian and I was doing Oracle DBD. Yes, yeah. And Professor Black Ops is giving you an example right there. He was a civilian. He got a secret clearance. So there are people that get into it. It's not impossible, but it is a little tougher than a lot of. They just favor military more because you already have it and they don't have to spend that money on it. But anyway, Okay, this is cool. So it pops up with let me fix the screen just to make it a little better. Make it look a little better. And I don't like KDE. I don't like Plasma, man. I really don't. I know a lot of people do, but I really don't like it. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to, and it's mainly because I haven't used it that much. Not desktop, display. That's what I was looking for, and I'm not typing it right. Yeah, display configurations. All right, cool. And based on what I saw, I think this thing is Arch based. Um, Let me see if Pac-Man is on here. Let's see, keep configuration. Let's make this a little better. And actually, let's pull it up using my virtual machine setup. That way, you guys can see the operating system a whole lot better. Nope, not there. Boom. There we go. Boom. So you guys can see it, fully. But it's super cool they had this here. It looks like you can customize everything from right here. Personalize packages. Let's see, install selected packages. I just kind of wanted to see what yeah, it uses Pac-Man. So I'm assuming it's Arch based, or are they using the just a Pac-Man package manager, or is it Arch based? I don't know. I don't know what the repositories are for this thing. Let's actually see right fast. Let's open up the terminal. Boom. Okay, console. Let's see. I don't know. Man, Pac-Man. So it is on here. Pac-Man, which is an awesome package manager, by the way. So let's just run the update command. I just want to see Pac-Man, sudo Pac-Man dash syu. Let's see what happens. I just want to scroll up here and see. Core main apps. I don't know what repositories those are. I'm gonna go look in configuration file for Pac-Man just to see what's actually there. I'm assuming this is Arch based. I'm not sure. If anybody knows in the chat, just let me know. I'll go down and run through these updates and kind of minimize it. Let's see, wallpaper. So anyway, I'm not doing a review. I just wanted to kind of go through this thing and show you guys it and see if you guys want to check it out. And this is some of the information. So it is the Calamaris installer. 3 major changes. Bootloader. So for UEFI installs, it's now possible to select between system deboot. Okay, so that's cool. That's actually there. NVIDIA. So you guys can look at this stuff on your own. I don't want to, take up too much time, but I'm gonna just run this thing, in the background. I may come back to it. Actually, let's switch over to some of the stuff I wanted to kind of cover. And this kind of goes back into those certification questions that were popping up. So let's transition back to the site. And let's go down and bring this up. So yeah, that's KaOS Linux. Like I just showed you guys, it's K. So hope you guys check that out. I think it's an interesting one. But Terraform, this is what I wanted to get into. And like I said, I'm nowhere near expert. I'm just not learning this. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is something you guys should actually hop into, especially if you're trying to get into, working in the cloud, this because this is basically an infrastructure. You know, infrastructure is code. So you can set up virtual machines from using commands or code. You can code it out, and it'll create based on my knowledge so far. And I've heard about it from Tam over at Women in Linux. She kind of got me interested into it. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that I wanted to play around with. Hold on. Let me see. Somebody asked a question. Yeah, Tech Hut, what's up, bro? He says, what are your top 2 favorite desktop environments, window managers? So desktop environment is XFCE. That's my favorite. Now the second is kind of like either Deepin. I kind of like the design of Deepin. The way it looks. Obviously because it looks very good. You know what I'm saying? Deepin is one of those desktop environments that I kind of like. But XFCE, since I've been using it so long, I'm a creature of habit, so I've been sticking with XFCE for a while. Now GNOME is cool as well. I like GNOME. I started out using GNOME until I found out, a lot of the customization you can do within XFCE. I fell in love with XFCE, and I haven't looked back at GNOME or not. I play around with a few of them in virtual machines like Deepin. That's what made me get interested in Deepin. It's a good desktop environment, so to speak. So that's my favorite, man. That's my favorite. XFCE is my favorite. The distro watch page says inspired by Orchland. Okay, so it is inspired by Orchland. It's okay. That's what I was wondering. I was wondering if it was. So that's actually dope. Now Terraform. I've been wanting to actually learn it. Oh, you're a plasma guy? Cubics. Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. I see. I don't know. I just never got into it, bro. It's a little bit too window like to me. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know. It's it's easy to use. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with it. It's just I don't know. It's just something I've never I don't know got into. Let me just say it that way. Maybe if I install it one day and just live in it for a month, I may start liking it. Because I always hear great things about it. It's a excellent desktop environment. They've been working on it for years. I remember, you know, it was like the GNOME versus KDE wars back in the day, or XFCE and KDE, or I don't know. It's always those wars on the best desktop environment. And I remember seeing on message boards, people arguing about, which one is the best, and all that stuff. you know, I say use what you like and what you got comfortable with actually using. Now, which is harder? Someone asked that about that certification. LPIC-2 versus Red Hat Certified Systems Administrator. The LPIC, based on my knowledge of it, now take this with a grain of salt because I haven't taken the exam for either one of them. LPIC, isn't that the same certification they used to give you for free when you took Linux Plus? I believe it is. So LPIC-2, the Linux whatever it's called, I can't remember. But like what was that, 2 years ago? I think they just stopped doing it like a year ago. Where if you took the Linux Plus certification, you got the LPIC. So I think it's pretty much on the same level as the Linux Plus exam. Let me look it up because I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. But I know at one point they used to give you that certification when you took the Linux Plus. Yeah, LPI, Linux Professional Institute. Let me see. I think you used to could get it when you took CompTIA Linux Plus. So you'll be certified in both when you took took one of the exams, and I think it was, oh, that's LPIC 1. Oh, okay. All right. So let me look at it. Let me look at it. And I apologize. Let me look at it. And I'm yeah, like I said, I never looked into LPIC or LP, the Linux Professional Institute. I never looked into these exams. I never even thought to take them because um, I had I worked government contracts. They require certain certifications. And we all know that what's that 8570 requirement. You have to take CompTIA Security Plus or above. You know what I'm saying? And so instead of going with a whole nother certification company or another company to take the Linux exam, which I never took, I still haven't taken it. I've been trying to keep everything in one under one. As far as all my certifications, keep them under one, or as less the amount of um, websites I got to log into or whatever, or accounts that I have to create. I try not to make a whole bunch of. Basically, I was just trying to keep everything together. Let me just say it that way. And since I had to get Security Plus, I already had Network Plus. I'm just sticking with CompTIA. So I never looked at, you know, LPIC or the Linux Professional Institute. I never looked at it. Now I heard it is. I heard. I did hear something about it being a little. But I don't know much about it, to be honest. I think the based on my research, the what you call it, the Red Hat certification is a little bit more advanced. But take that with a grain of salt. I don't know. I haven't taken either of the exams. And I need to do a course on them, just go through a course at least. If even if I don't take the exam, just take a course on it just to see exactly what's in it. But right here, this kind of covers it. That's somewhat of what you learn. Um that's basic information. You know what I'm saying? That's basic. I've seen this type of stuff. I guess it depends on how deep it goes into. Like if it goes in a SSH, open SSH, and then go into keys and configuration, and it's a whole bunch of configuration you could do with SSH. That's most people don't cover. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it depends on how deep it goes into it, as well as like web servers. So you can go into that, pretty deep. Samba, you can go into that kind of deep. DHCP and DNS. But it says install and configure fundamental network services. So that's pretty basic. That to me, that's almost a Linux plus, level. I don't know how, it all depends on how deep they go into it. Let me let me get off of that, but because I don't want to bash the certification, I don't want to discourage anyone from taking it. Uh Based on what I've heard, I know people that have taken this exam and they have it under their belt. Um, at least the LPIC 1. I don't know about LPIC 2 because I don't know anybody that took it, but I've heard that it's a good certification to have. So, all right, and I'm missing a whole bunch of y'all comments. Y'all hit me with the comments, man. It's kind of hard for me to keep up. Um, Let's see. I think the two companies split recently. Okay, I didn't know they split. I didn't know they was together. I thought they was just together on that certification. So, does MTA security also meet the government standards? I'm not sure what MTA. Let me look that up. MTA security. I'm like a MTA Security Foundation fundamentals. It may be. I'm not sure what that 85. Just look at let me find that site right fast. So the 8570 requirement, 8570 certification requirement. I know it's a site that covers everything that you need. So I'm gonna drop this in the chat. If I can find it. DOD requirements. Here we go. 8570. It's a lot of websites on it. You can go to any of them and you can kind of search, but this is the DISA site. Let's see if it goes to it. That's one of them. DISA site. Let me just drop this one I found that kind of covers it. This kind of covers. Let me see. Does it have the certs in here? Yeah, it has it in here. So check this out. I know Linux Plus is not in there or any of the Linux certifications. I guess unless you have some security cert. I don't know. I think there's a Red Hat security cert, so that might fall under there. So just got my AWS Cloud Practitioner. Yeah, hey, good for you. Congrats, man. Congrats. But realize they run Linux a lot. So I'm trying to get into Linux. Yeah, see? This kind of goes back to the conversation I was having a while back with someone. And they was talking about, getting into cloud certifications, which, it's great to get into it, but you got to understand Linux is in the cloud. It rules the cloud in a lot of instances. So you definitely want to, look into learning Linux. Let's see. Anybody else? Have you looked into the Linux Foundation? Yeah, Anthony, I talked about that earlier. I actually failed their exam because the Linux Foundation certifications or performance based. The Linux certifications are performance based. They're tough to actually pass. And I failed it. I ain't gonna sit here in front like I passed it. I failed it. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't take it as serious, and I ran out of time because I was transitioning between jobs, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff going on that contributed to it. No excuse though. I failed it. But yes, it's a tough exam. It's performance based. You actually have to go in, run the command. They'll give you a scenario, and they have the files on the system. And I'm not giving too much insight, but this is insight for that exam. They'll give you a scenario. They'll ask you, okay, we need you to move log files, or we need you to move certain log files that meet a certain criteria. So you basically have to, write the command and then use like grep to pull out certain things. It's performance based, and it doesn't matter how you answer the question or complete the question. It's just a matter of fact if you can do it or not. And I got pretty decent scores on it. I just didn't pass. I was like right there, and I wish if I had the money at the time, I would have purchased it again. I mean, you get one free retake. I failed that retake. That was the second time I got the highest score on the second time. But if I would have took it again, if I had the money at the time, I would have passed it the next time. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew exactly what I needed to work on. But it's just certain performance things that you have to, or certain things you have to do that I could not remember for the life of me how to actually do. And it's tough. We don't have any other resources other than the man pages. Because at least you had the man pages. But if you don't know what command to actually look up, or if you don't remember what command to actually research and pull, and then figure out the options in it on the fly on a time test, then you kind of got to already know what to do. If you see the question, you should automatically know how to do. So I want to make sure I'm at that level before I take that test again, where when I see the scenario, I can be like, oh, okay, this is how I do it. Let me go on and boom, 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 move these log files over, do certain things, you know what I'm saying? And or configure the service. Now the easy part is one of the easy parts in the exam is like creating users, groups, that I knocked out like
out the pork. You know what I'm saying? That was like the simple parts of the exam. But when it came to, extracting data from text files and on the fly, I couldn't think of the commands, and I was messing up the options, and I would pull the information, but it wasn't 100% accurate. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, um, let's see. Do you have any other certification? Oh, you talking to someone in the chat? Yep, that's what I mean. When you did the Linux Plus, you get the LPI one, but they stopped that collab. Yeah, you're right. I hate taking exams. Kev, yeah, me too, man. Me too. So I didn't hit an hour. I'll do some videos on the other stuff I wanted to cover. Let me go back to what I was actually going to cover. Just bring it up at least. But yeah, I was gonna try to go into terraforming. I'll create another video, or I'll just go down and do some more research. But guys, look into Terraform. It's an excellent application based on what I've seen as far as setting up, cloud. If you're in the cloud, if you pass the the cloud practitioner or AWS cloud practitioner, then look into Terraform, because that's how they're doing a lot of this stuff. Infrastructure as a code. You know, and I've looked at some of the examples. You can use this to create instances, create virtual machines, on the fly. So it's dope. It's a great thing, to actually learn. And as you can see, it's supported by, you can apply to Google Cloud, AWS, as well as Azure, VMware, Kubernetes. So yeah, definitely check out Terraform. I'll do a video on it showing you guys how to install it on Ubuntu, or install it in the cloud. I'll show you guys how to actually do it. At least the information that I've researched and found, as well as some of the code. I'm gonna just try it out, see if it works, and try to learn it and understand it as well, and then give you guys somewhat of an understanding, as much as I can give. You know what I'm saying? Now, this was something I wanted to cover. This is a great article that I saw on CompTIA. I'm gonna just post it in the chat for you guys. You guys can check it out, but this will help you out with the proper certifications to take when it comes to crap. How can I get to this? Let's share it. Let's see. Let's copy the link. Let's see if I can copy it to get more, or get a shorter link. But anyway, this was a great article. I'm gonna put it in. If I can't reach it, if I can't open it up in if I can't open it up here, actually, let me try to delete all this stuff after the question mark. See what happens. See if it pulls it up right. See if it pulls up the site properly so I can get a shorter link for it. Yeah, there we go. Boom. So shorter link, because it was maxing out the chat. You can only post so much text. Oh, shout out SKC, man. I definitely appreciate it. He says great work. I appreciate it, man. But check this article out, guys. Like I said, this is a good article. I read this a while back, and like I said, I'm not sponsored by CompTIA. I'm not trying to push CompTIA on you guys, but this was a great article, and it covers the best Linux certifications to actually get. Obviously, they're gonna put CompTIA Linux Plus up there at the top, but they also talk about the Red Hat Certified Systems Administrator course. And it just gives you some information on it. It says, like, in 2018, the product made up almost 34% of paid operating systems in use at the enterprise level. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of covers those two certifications, information on it. And then also it covers the Oracle certification. So there are some Oracle certifications you can check out. Oracle is heavily used in the government. So if you want to get a government position, Oracle is the way to go. I know they use that in environments, and I know that for a fact because of where I work and the type of servers that I see. And sorry guys, I'm losing my voice a little bit. But also Linux Foundation. Just read through this article. I just wanted to put the information out there. I was gonna, kind of cover it a little more. but I kind of ran out of time. But I definitely appreciate you guys coming through. Shout out to everybody that donated to the channel. If you can, if you're still here and you haven't hit that like button, just go down and hit that like button. I definitely appreciate it. Shout out SKC for donating. I definitely appreciate it. And anybody, you know, that want to donate to the channel, you can. It just helps me, you know, keep things going, you know, pay this high as electrical bill that I have because of all this hardware I have running around here. I'm just joking, man. But I appreciate you guys for, you know, the support and all the people that actually came through. Shout out to Tech Hunt. I definitely appreciate it. You know, stopping by, man. You have an excellent Linux channel, and I recommend people go check him out, as well as KeepItTechie if you want to get into the IT field. KeepItTechie does a lot of great things on this channel, so just go down, check him out, subscribe, you know, and all that good stuff. Professor Black Ops was in the building earlier. Make sure you go check out his channel, as well as TechG. If you're interested in getting these CompTIA courses, TechG has the courses laid out for you as far as the training. You can listen to the videos while you're at work. If you work at 7-Eleven, you know, have on your phone instead of listening to some music or something. Have TechG videos. He has them in playlists. All you have to do is start the playlist, listen to it, and he covers everything about the actual CompTIA exams. You know what I'm saying? Super dope channel. TechG. You know, super. I interviewed him before. Super dope guy. Make sure you check him out. Who else? I don't want to forget anybody. Cold Tech, he does Cisco training or Cisco stuff. Make sure you check him out as well. I want to try to cover everybody. AM1, you know, shout out to AM1. Go check him out. He just interviewed me not that long ago. I definitely appreciate him. Alpha Cyber, you know, I'm shouting out to everybody. I don't want to forget people. As well as the one Lightfoot. Gabe A is actually starting a channel pretty soon, so I look forward to that. I'm gonna be sharing his content as well. You know, he has a lot of great knowledge on getting into cybersecurity, you know, and also I say Alpha Cyber, he does those interviews over there, interviewing people that are in the cybersecurity field. If I missed you, don't take offense. I'll catch you in the next one, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that came through again. And peace.